Hey cutie heads, I'm Tiff Day. Welcome to my platform. It's a journey of growth, of love, of learning, and we're doing it together. You're never alone. Today, you are enough. Hey cutie heads, it's Tiff with Tiff Day today, and I have the beautiful Emily. Seriously, I call you Magnolia Rose to everyone because that's how I know you on Instagram.
A lot of people call me that, Magnolia Rose.
But it kind of fits.
Yeah,
so
it does.
Welcome.
Thanks.
I'm actually really obsessed with the whole mindset thing and you taking charge of your feelings and making it positive and like reinserting and rewiring your brain.
Yeah.
That's a brain rewire.
Totally. I completely agree. This theme kind of happened of like replacing fear with love. And like I have the power to choose that and I can choose which path I go down, you know? I can't choose all this crap that's going on. I can't choose what Josh is doing. I can't choose what Mason chooses. Like I can't do all of these like people in my life, my dad, my mom, John. That's their bullshit. And I don't want to deal with their bullshit. It's affected me for sure. But this is like I'm me. This is me. And I don't want it to affect me. And I can allow it to affect me if I continue to be triggered by it and get in that panicky state. And I've definitely been there. But at some point I was like, no, this is my life. Like, I don't want to feel this way anymore. So I'm going to choose this instead. Yeah, it was amazing.
I'm kind of in awe because I want to fix my triggers.
Well, let's fix your triggers.
I want to. I'm seriously like, I want to do that.
I still have them though. That's the thing is like, they never go away. You know, like I'll watch a movie that, because I'm not like sex doesn't scare me anymore. You know, like at one point it totally did in life, but I would watch a movie or a TV show and like there'd be boobs and I'd be like, oh my God, I don't know. Like this is freaky. Like women are objectified. I don't like it. Like it made me feel so unsafe, you know? And then I'd think about John and what he showed me and what he told me and how he like imprinted in my brain, like what women's roles are, you know?
Yes.
And that really bothered me. And I'd sit and think about it and then I would totally miss the show and like for other people, they'd just be watching it and it was like, just like any other scene, you know? But for me, it would cycle in my brain and I hated that because it was constant. You just have to get into that repetition of like every time that comes up, you're like, okay, this affirmation instead, you know?
And
like,
I'm putting this in and that's going out.
Yeah, and you just consciously do that. And it still happens, but now it's like 2 seconds.
But you're probably so aware when something comes in. I think a lot of people that aren't aware or in tune with who they are or maybe their spirituality, it comes in and it does. Like you said, it sits and it swirls and it takes over their life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think in some ways we allow that maybe because we are terrified of being aware, you know? I mean, that's freaky too. But
I think,
it's
but
so
when
cool
you're aware,
once you dive into it.
then maybe you don't fit into the box.
Yeah.
And that is scary. That's scary for a lot of people.
Well, it is kind of like a loner's path, you know? Like, but I honestly feel like that's how spirituality should be, you know? Like, it isn't... Like, take that path, like, make it yours and be super comfortable and confident in your awareness and your path. You don't need to have a tribe or a group or approval. And for some reason, a lot of us think we do. And so it's like, oh, that's scary. I don't want to do that on my own.
Like, I think just listening to yourself, I know just since I got divorced, that rocked my world. Yeah. That was a world rocker.
Oh, yeah.
And I know, like, I even watch my kids and it's rocked their world. But I had to really, like... refigure out who I am. Yeah. And figure out, holy crap, you know what? I'm intuitive. I can tell you something that's going to happen before it happens.
That's so cool.
Or I can be by someone and I can feel your energy.
Yeah.
I can tell, are you good or are you bad? I know that sounds awful because
but you can just sense it.
There's just like, there's this sense. And the more I rely on it, like the stronger it is. It's crazy.
Totally. Well, and I did this really cool reading. This girl's amazing. You need to get a reading by Suzanne Wagner. She will change your
Wagner,
life.
I'm coming after you.
Oh, she's amazing. Okay. I went and got a reading by her when I was pregnant, and she went off about Mason. And I, at the time, was like, I don't like this girl. Like, I just am not a fan. I felt like she was so angry during her reading, but she was like kind of like aggressive and like
really
saying some things that were really scary. And I was like, this is not like, I don't know how to interpret this. And so I left being like, I'm never getting a reading by her ever again. But then she ended up being right about everything. as much as I resisted it all. And then, so I was like, I need to do a follow-up reading with this girl. And so she like did Brad's numbers, because she does numerology, tarot.
Wait, so Brad's
astrology.
been to her?
No, but you can give. So I gave her his birth date, and so she's able to pull the same way she pulled from Mason his numbers. She pulled. Okay. Yeah. She's such a fan of Brad. She loves Brad. But everybody loves Brad.
Well, I think everybody loves Brad. He is pretty cute,
he's
you know.
So cute.
Okay.
But yeah, so I did this reading with Suzanne, and I don't even remember where I was going with this.
I'm sorry, because I totally got Brad on the mind over here.
As soon as Brad comes in my brain, I'm like, whoa, it's so
You're
hot.
Like, wait, he's so, yeah,
where am I going?
It's because we were talking about just sensing someone and how Suzanne had sensed Mason.
Yeah, so
then you accepted it, and then you took her Brad's numbers.
So oh my gosh, so like she'll go in. This girl is so like, she goes into everything, but I like that she uses every modality. So she's got tarot, astrology, numerology, and she just knows a lot, but she's also a psychic. But like, she will call stuff that you're just like, this is crazy, and she knows stuff about you and she'll go like into past lifetimes even, and it's bizarre to see like what you bring into this lifetime from past lifetimes, what you carry. It's crazy. I mean, she like. That's like a whole nother podcast. She's insane. It's so cool.
Stay tuned for that one, guys. That will be coming another time.
You know what would be so cool is if you did a podcast with her. Like if you contacted her and said like, hey,
do you think she'd do that?
Maybe. I mean, she might even give you a discount if you did. Because that's like good. That's good publicity for her, you know?
Okay, I'm going to try that
You guys she does it through FaceTime because she's in California.
So you guys could do like a FaceTime. All right, you guys, that'll be coming up.
Oh, that's so cool.
Okay, I'm excited.
She's amazing, but yeah, I don't remember where we were going.
Okay, so she read Brad's numbers or whatever.
Well, so with our reading, I mean, she's like a huge fan of Brad in general, but she talked a lot about like how Leo, her biggest challenge in this life is Mason, her dad. And then Mason's biggest challenge in this life is her. And I actually, as much as I have a karmic link with Mason, we've known each other in past lifetimes, which I do believe. I have no feeling there whatsoever. It's like so resolved. She was like, I'm surprised because of your past lifetimes with him and what's happened in those lifetimes that you don't have more of an emotional charge. But she was like, Leo apparently in my past life was a teacher to me. She was like one of my teachers. And so, which is funny that she's an Aries female in this life because they are often the boss. Aries signs are just the boss. Mm-hmm. And so she was like, she's always going to think she's the boss, which she does. She definitely does. But she's like, you chose and volunteered to be her mom in this life to bring her to her dad so that she could like resolve this past karmic link with her dad. And she's like, you have no emotional tie there whatsoever. You're over it. I was just the vessel. That was it.
Job like, complete. Right. Yeah. Good job.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
She'll give you so much info that's so cool. It's so fun.
That is okay. So, what do you like? Do you do readings?
So
tell me what you do.
So I'm an empath. So I like feel and pick up on things, but I can like read people's intentions, which is a very strange situation because when you're like, I can feel that those intentions are wrong. No one's gonna be like, you're right. They're gonna like get super defensive. So often it gets me in more trouble than it's
unless
worth.
Someone like understands that.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, people don't like it when you are aware of the fact that they're lying.
Like, liar! You don't have to say anything, and I know you're lying.
Yes. I know you're lying. Liar! Can you imagine if I just started doing that?
I have something to share with everyone. That person over there is lying.
That person over there is lying.
Yeah, that wouldn't go so well.
No, they would not like that. So well. But, I mean, it served me in relationships, though, because, like, anytime somebody was lying, I'd start asking questions, and then, like, they'd trip themselves up, and it's super funny. But, so I give readings. For me, it takes a lot. It's, like, it takes a lot of juice, and I can either do them in person, I've done them in person, or I can do them, like, over the phone. But it's one of those things where I have to, like, set up a space, a super safe meditation space, meditate for, like, an hour. Like, I can't, like, tune in quick. Like a lot of people can, where you sit down at a table and they're like, boom, 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 you know? Mm-hmm. And then they give you a bunch. It's like a whole, like, maybe 2-hour situation with, like, an hour meditation involved. And then I pull their cards and I take my notes and I meditate in between cards, take more notes, and I just, like, type it out. And then I can either call that person and give them their reading over the phone, or I can email it like I did with you. I just touched your boob. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And then
wow, I got some action, guys.
Whoop!
All right. Sorry,
I'll
Brad.
own it. Sorry, Brad. My apologies. But yeah, it's really cool. It's an interesting experience to like tune into somebody's energy and pick up the same way that you know, you can feel a panic attack. You can, it kind of comes on in like this weird, like entering kind of a way. It's like a weird aura enter, you know, and all of a sudden you can like feel like depression for them, and it's different for every person too. It's really interesting. Or you'll just get hit with like information really fast, you know. So the same way I was in the bath that one time and it was like, you're loved, you were loving, over and over again, and I felt that impressionable thought. You'll get that while doing it for somebody else. So it's like, what does Tiff need, you know? And it'll be like boom, 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 and it just kind of comes, and I'll just take notes. It's so trippy.
That is,
yeah,
I
really
think
cool.
it's so cool.
Yeah, and I have to like sage and do my crystals
just so that you can like
yeah.
clear out all the energy and
yeah.
clear out everything.
And I'm usually like super exhausted after.
I bet you are.
I had so many people that the day that I did that for free, I was like, I need to start offering these. And but at the same time, you know, there's always like that little self-doubt in the back of your brain that's like, am I good at this? Should I do it? Like, how am I going to know? And I was like, well, I guess I'll just offer online. I felt really strongly that people needed it. And so I just like offered it. And then I had like 40 people. It was like 30 or 40 people that were like, I want one. And it took me like 3 days.
Okay. But I'm just going to say, for me, that was new to all of this.
Was that your first reading?
I'd never had one.
Oh.
So I saw this thing. I think it was on your story.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You're like, maybe I'll
what
do that.
exactly does that entail? Just because I didn't know. I've heard about it. And like you hear this stuff. Yeah. But then I got that reading back. And I was like, oh, it was pretty amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
Like it's actually really amazing.
I love that. Well, good.
I loved it.
Good. I'm glad. Did I send you pictures of the cards too? I usually try to send
got one
photos.
card.
You only got one?
I got one.
Really?
What does that mean?
Oh, well, it doesn't.
That I need help?
I wonder if I was doing.
Do I need help?
There's sometimes it's just like one card that wants to pull out. Cause like people do it different ways. Like I'll have people that will shuffle them out, you know, and they just, so that from the top of the deck, they're like, psh, 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 and then other people who lay them out and then they pick a card. And so sometimes I do it this way. I just shuffle and what falls out, falls out.
Well, one fell out.
So one fell out. And so if I keep shuffling and no more come out.
It was the trees.
It was the Gaia card.
That was
that one so much. I think I might have that actually with me.
Wait, are we gonna do something?
We can do whatever you want. I can pull your natal chart. We can like play with some cards we can talk about. I brought a bunch of crap.
Okay, let's just see your stuff.
Okay, let me
move a little. These chairs are scary, so be careful, all right?
Oh.
Can I hold that for you because it is so big?
I like it's so heavy. Okay, so I've got, so that's from that deck. That's my favorite. I'll just show you all the things.
Okay, she has so much cool stuff in here. We're at show and tell.
This isn't even all of it.
I feel like we're in kindergarten.
I know.
I used to love show and tell so much.
Can you imagine if I was like the kid in kindergarten? This is going to be
That'd
Leo.
Be like, Emily.
Yeah.
We said one thing.
Like, this is totally going to be like what Leo does when because she's into all of this stuff,
she's
too.
So cute. Oh, I love her.
And she's probably just because she's young and just wanting to copy and, you know, little girls are like that, but she loves this kind of stuff. Okay.
I think that's amazing.
So so I have a ton of crystals, but I only brought these 3 because these are just like your main ones. So for newbies that are like getting into self-care, should I move this forward or is this good?
I think this is
good?
Perfect.
Okay. So I've got
let's just hold it up so
rose quartz, which is
I'm obsessed
stunning.
with this, and I don't know why, but pink's my favorite color. So
rose quartz is so good. It's like the ultimate self-love stone, but you don't leave it out in the sunlight because it will dim the pink. People don't know that, and then they're like, why is my rose quartz like white now? Because the sun took it away. But and that's like when you cleanse your stones. So like you can cleanse your stones in the moonlight and the sunlight. You can put it in the earth. You can put sage underneath it because they hold energy. Citrine, which is one of my favorites, doesn't need to be cleansed because it's a stone that cleanses. So you could put it with a stone like that one, and then it would cleanse that one. And then clear quartz, which is like your main, everybody knows clear quartz. You know, it's like it like brings light. Like just think of like light in its purest form. So those are my 3 favorite, but I've got so many. Like this is ridiculous. There's a little obsidian piece in this one. Obsidian blocks negative energy.
Oh.
This deck is really cool.
And you keep it in there?
I do. Sometimes some of them I don't know. See, that's the thing is it's like I'll have a thought like keep obsidian in this one and I'm just like, okay.
You just do whatever.
Yeah, I'm not like
whatever.
Gonna argue with it, you know.
No, you just go with that.
I just go with it, and people, I've noticed that the more that when I get those impressionable hints and I go with it, the more of them I get. You know, if you're
absolutely,
because it's like, think about it. It'd be like talking to someone who's not listening, you know. But if you're listening, you're gonna get more conversation from that.
I absolutely believe that.
This deck is super pretty though. So there's 2 different types. Ooh. Well, there's 3 different types if you count affirmation cards. So tarot. Let's do this. This will be the easier way to explain it. So tarot is this one. Here's oracle. We'll make 2 piles.
Can I hold it up?
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this. Wait, when you say tarot, I'll hold up the tarots. How's that?
Well, so those 2 are tarots. So is this one. This is tarot also. I have tarot in here too.
Okay, so there's the tarot.
These 2 are like the main. So there's the Rider-Waite tarot, which is that yellow one. So tarot cards, all 3 of those decks have each card in them means the exact same thing. The only difference is the artwork. So they're all the exact same. There's like 78 cards, except for Aleister Crowley, because he was a rebel and he's added 2 cards. But each one has 78 cards, every tarot deck. And they're all the exact same. It's just the artwork that's different. Oracle are these ones. And they are, the artwork and the meaning are different. So like the artists, yeah.
They're kind of pretty boxes.
They're so pretty. So the artist will have either like an affirmation on it, or there's a little booklet in it. Blah, blah, blah. So if I was going to interpret my tarot, I would use one book for all 3 of those decks.
For this, okay.
These ones have little books in them.
Oh.
So, and Oracle, personally, what I think that this was super intimidating. Tarot was super intimidating for a lot of people, and for whatever reason, people think it's like of the devil. And so Oracle was created as like the cuter version that's like not the devil.
Froofy.
But, yeah.
Can we say froofy?
Froofy. Simple. There's like 50 cards. It's a little more digestible. And like the meanings are more sandwich effect. So it's like, instead of pulling like the Tower in the tarot, which is often like a divorce or destruction, and sometimes people don't like that, it's like change is coming, you know, like that's the difference.
Personally, give me the Tower. I want to know.
I'd rather know.
Like,
I
you
like
give
the blunt.
me give me the blunt. Give me all the juice so that I can deal with it. Okay.
Yeah. So I give readings. I usually do Thoth from Aleister Crowley, and then I pair it with one of these ones because I feel like it gives like a good energy. And that one is your Gaia cards in there.
That's where my card was?
That's your card, yeah. Flip those open.
What? Okay.
They're cool, yeah. Woo! So, like, the artwork is so rad. I don't know if the camera can see that.
Okay, this is pretty.
I, like, realized midway that, like, I don't think I've looked at the camera. I've maybe looked at the camera, like,
Wait a second. What was right on there?
Whoa! Oh! What the heck?
That's crazy. Because I'm like, oh, these are so pretty.
And flip it over? That's bizarre. That actually is really cool. What are the chances?
I don't know.
That's a good sign.
Is it?
Yeah, that's really cool.
What does that mean? I have no clue.
That's really cool.
But these are beautiful. Card. That's my card, guys.
That's my absolute favorite. So this deck was like with me a lot. So when I was kind of in my spiritual journey, and Josh and I were having our struggles, and my grandma died, and I was taking my baths, and then I was going to the psychic fair, I would sit down and give myself a reading, because you can lay them out and pick your cards. If you're right-handed, they say to pick it with your left hand because it's your non-dominant, and like sometimes you'll feel a little like energy pulse, and you're like, oh, that's the card. Or it's like the same way as like when you pick out an outfit and you're like, that's the one I want. Like, how do you know that?
Okay, but that really does happen for me on my outfits. It really does. That's crazy.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, I don't like this outfit, and then I try on like 12 others, you know? Who knows? Sometimes I put out the cards and then I'm like, this doesn't resonate. This doesn't feel right, and I start all over. That doesn't mean that it's like wrong or that it didn't work or that it's random. I kind of think with a lot of these cards, they've got symbolism on them. And if you've ever had therapy, and I clearly have, they'll show you like images, and it'll be like, what does this look like? And to some people it looks like a butterfly, and to other people it looks like blood, you know, or
like a poodle
weird.
or whatever.
And everybody has their own interpretation. These are like trigger points that I think of. And so I think if I'm going to connect to my subconscious mind and pull out stuff that needs to be pulled out, I'm going to use that image. What does that mean to me? You can totally give yourself a reading and have it and just look at the cards and take down notes of what you feel, what you think, what impressions you get just from looking at it. Boom, you have your reading, you know? Tarot is more fun that way because the cards have so much symbolism in them that you can like really dive in and see like what it is that's going on, and then look up the meaning after and see if you were accurate, you know? It's actually really fun.
So how many people are calling you to do this?
I haven't done a tarot. So I was a stay-at-home mom for a while, and then when it was like time to leave Mason because that whole process took like a year to get out of.
Yes.
And so it was like a nuts situation. But I was doing a lot more of it back then when I had the time. Now where I work and I do Arbonne, and then occasionally I'll do a tarot reading, but I just re-added them to my website. They weren't even on there for a while.
I'm glad that you're doing it.
Yeah, because I love it. It's fun, but it does take a lot of energy, you know? And then I have the natal charts. Like I can pull someone's natal chart. We can pull your natal chart.
Let's pull my natal chart.
I got to do it on my computer. Let me grab my computer.
She's going to pull my natal chart.
It's so cool though. You've never had a natal chart?
No.
Pulled?
Nope. So remember, I'm new to this. I know I'm a Libra.
Oh, you're a Libra. Libras are so balanced. I love a Libra. My dog's a Libra.
I am balanced.
My little French bulldog is a Libra. She's so cute.
She is so cute.
She's way cute. Okay, I'm going to do this.
Okay.
We'll do it this way.
Okay.
I don't want to bump into anything.
Here, let me help you out.
Oh, thanks. So, okay, so like, do you read your astrology, like, typically?
Well,
what do you think
my
of it?
son's boyfriend put this thing on my phone, and I forget to read it. But there's an app that he got me. And then...
What app is it?
I can't remember.
CoStar.
Oh, that's
CoStar's
it. CoStar.
So good.
Yeah, that's
What's
it.
your Wi-Fi?
Oh, it's... Okay, go to TIFF's 5G.
TIFF's 5G.
There you go. And then, do you guys all want to know my Wi-Fi passcode?
You can even even put it in there. There you go. Then you don't have to say it.
Just in case anyone wants to sneak up to my
podcast.
If anyone sneaks up here and wants to use my Wi-Fi, you can.
Can you imagine if like one of your
there's
followers,
like cars lined up?
They're like, we need some free Wi-Fi.
I hope that was
We're looking for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that worked.
Okay, let's try this. CoStar is really good. So there's different like forms of astrology. Another good app is The Pattern. That's really good.
I remember like in high school, I always wanted to be like, oh, is it going to say I'm going to have a boyfriend?
Well, so here's the thing. So here's what's funny about astrology, okay? So this is what's so funny. We'll do Tiff because you're Tiff. Okay.
I'm Tiff.
Okay.
Tiffany's too serious for me.
So when's your birthday again?
October.
Oh my gosh, it's coming
20th.
up. 20th. What year? You're so funny. 19.
I'm getting old.
Okay, and then what time were you born again?
3:25 p.m.
Yep. 3:25. Okay, and then where? Salt Lake?
Provo,
Utah. Okay, so the problem with astrology is that when you are like reading a magazine, which I don't feel like anybody does these days anymore, but
no,
and you go to Libra and you're like reading about it, you could read mine. I'm a Leo. You could read Leo and be like, by the way, I should mention this. Leo, my daughter, is not named after the fact that I'm a Leo. That's not why.
Oh, okay.
Her moon sign is Leo.
Okay.
And that's why.
Okay. I'm like, wow.
I know. I think sometimes like, oh, your moon is a Leo. Okay, so.
What does that mean?
So this is what this means. You could read Libra, you could read Leo, and you'd be able to relate to both of them. And that's why astrology, horoscopes, people are like, it's so silly. Like I could read any of them and be able to relate to pretty much all of them. Yeah, you could, because you're not just a Libra. Your moon is Leo. Mercury is Scorpio. So all of these have different meanings. So your sun is what you outwardly project. That's kind of like the basic of who you are. It's your ego. You're a Libra. Your moon, which is you emotionally, is Leo. So you emotionally, a lot like my daughter, Leo, they're fiery emotionally, but they feel big. They've got a huge heart, very passionate. Like,
actually, that does fit.
That's totally you. So Leo also, and I say this because my son's a Leo, so I know a lot about Leo. They're misunderstood. So like emotionally, you might often feel misunderstood. That could be something with like people think, yes, they're flashy and they are loud and blah, blah, blah. I get that. But they're also really big hearted and they love people. Like they have the biggest heart, and they're also really bright and they do a lot. I think they make the world a brighter place, but maybe that's the Leo in me saying that. I don't know.
You.
So Mercury is how you communicate, and that's Scorpio. So Scorpios are very mysterious, and they can be kind of like quiet. On a negative side, they could be a little manipulative. So that would be like communication. my Mercury is Leo, so I'm really loud and I talk way too fast and I say way too much and there's no filter and yeah.
I think I used to, okay, I just want to throw this out there. I used to be really quiet.
Yeah.
And then I got divorced and now I'm just like, if something comes in my head, I'm going to say it. Like I'm super blunt.
That's kind of like, I feel like that's the Scorpio, like positive, like that's both sides, right? Like they can be quiet and sort of mysterious and they don't say a lot. They keep it to their chest. Because I'm going to watch
everything and soak it in, but then I'm going to.
Well, and Scorpios are very observant. So that's your communication. So you have to, there's all this like, it's kind of like a puzzle, right? So you're going to combine your moon sign with your sun sign. How does Leo and Libra balance each other out? Well, Libra is a very fair sign. They want fairness. They want justice. Leo they want some attention. So you combine that with you emotionally. Then you add in Mercury, Scorpio, Venus, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is really like, they love to travel. They're very like adventurous. They're the bow and arrow with the centaur thing, whatever that is. That's you in relationships. Mars, which is...
I don't have relationships though, so that's that.
Or friendships, like how you connect to people.
I want a relationship someday though. Let's just put that out there.
We could look at your 7th house and see what little nuggets of information are there.
Let's do it.
Mars is action and it's often like sex. You're Taurus. Taurus is a very grounded but stubborn sign. And then, so we could go on forever and ever and ever. But so let's see if we go down and I'll send this to you so you have it.
Oh my gosh,
but there's like tons of information. So let's go down to your 7th house. So you'll have the signs and then you'll also have the houses and every house represents something. And then the sign that you have in that house, I don't know why I'm searching it this way. Let's just scroll down. That's going to be faster. Every house represents something different, and then the sign that's within that house is basically like how that house is affecting you. So it's like this weird puzzle situation. So like I don't even know everything about astrology. I know a decent amount for somebody who just loves it, but I mean there's stuff that I don't even understand with this. I mean there's so much information that it takes a lifetime of learning and figuring it out. So, and of course they do it in the Roman numerals. So which one is 7?
It's the 5 with the 2s right there.
5. Okay. Partnership for love based on confidence, honesty, and sincerity. Yeah. So Leo, it doesn't give us any info. That's all it gives us. That's it.
Why I'm single. Because there's no information.
Weak point, the stomach.
What is
good in jobs in contact with the public. So let's see. We've got your 6th house of learning. You are good in jobs in contact with the public. So you need to like be reaching the public. So this is perfect for you.
That is why I love this.
And okay, so this is what's so cool about this though. Like and again, a natal chart, I guess I shouldn't say again because I don't think I said this, but a natal chart isn't like it's looking at your life as a whole. So there could be stuff that you can't yet relate to, but when you're 80, you're going to be like, that makes sense. Okay. And there could be stuff in here that you would maybe when you were 12, but not anymore. You've grown out of it, right? So you kind of have to take everything with a grain of salt. Here's what I love about it, because I talk about it 24/7 and people are always kind of like glazed over, like, you're so dumb. Like, what are you really believe this crap? Of course I believe this crap. Here's why. If I learn that my Mercury is in Leo and therefore I'm loud, I can dramatize, stretch the truth, and I talk too fast, right? That's information for me that I can go, do I do that? Oh yeah, I do kind of do that. I'm very loud. I talk very fast. Maybe I should slow it down and have a little more awareness around that. That's how I use it. So if it's like you're bad with money and you suck at saving, then I'm going to be like, oh shoot, which it does say in my chart. I need to like start saving. Be
mindful of putting some of that check in the bank.
Yeah. And like, obviously I could maybe just know that because I just know that from life experience, but sometimes it's nice to have something in your face saying that to you, because I don't know.
I think it's fun to just like have these little tidbits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's fun.
Okay. So if we go into... There's so much information here. She likes long voyages, especially by the sea. Might participate in regattas, enjoying risk sport.
I don't know that I'll be getting on a regatta anytime soon.
Job involving travel, especially abroad, and if possible, with some risk, creativity, and adventure attached. So maybe, what if you like traveled and did this podcast? How cool would that be?
I would be so happy because...
That would be so cool. Yeah, you've got a lot that mentions travel. This is the 3rd one. She loves above all, travel, adventure, and friends are often from abroad. Let's see. 12th house, education, emotion. What's like another area of life that you would maybe be interested in hearing about?
I don't know. Like, I think I've wondered ever since I got divorced. I'm like, am I meant to be alone? I don't feel like I'm meant to be alone. I'm not that person, but like relationships don't work out for me.
Well, so here's what my astrology says.
Okay.
My astrology has said to me that I'm not here to have a relationship. So, and that really like hurt my feelings at first. Because I was like, oh, I'm so like codependent. Like, excuse me. Like, I want a relationship. You know? Yeah. But then now I just view it so differently. Like I think being with Mason, I mean, I'll give him credit for this. Like, he really got me over my codependency because he left me so alone. And so I became very comfortable in my own skin, being on my own. And then every time I'd look into astrology, it was always like, why are you in a relationship? You're not here for a relationship. That's not your purpose. And I resisted that at first. But now I'm like, there was like this weird, because I was always in toxic, crappy relationships. And then there was like this weird transition where I had accepted the fact that it wasn't going to be, it's not like my purpose here on this planet. And so I released the need to have it. And then all of a sudden it was like Brad was just like right there. And it was like, yeah, this
Sexy
is
Brad
like,
showed up, you guys.
We're super compatible. Like, I'm going to have him be my life partner. Like, he's the best. And he adds a lot of value and joy to my life. And so we love being around each other, you know, and we're really compatible. But like, I don't need him. And he doesn't need me.
Okay, here's the craziest thing. Sorry, we're going to go off topic because that's what I do. I'm really good at that. So I have found myself in relationships. And I have a problem with being super independent and confident. And I'm pretty strong. I'm a strong woman.
Yeah.
Maybe that plays a part in me being single.
Well, I think that's really cool.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people get into relationships because I think that I don't know. I think they do it out of this like need for it, you know, like, and if you're meeting somebody and they're coming to the relationship because they need you and they're like leeching off of you in some way, shape, or form, and you're this like strong, independent woman, there's always going to be this like weird, you guys aren't on like the same frequency, you know? Yeah,
honestly, I have been in the relationship, in my marriage, I was the caretaker. That was it.
Yeah.
And I'll own that.
Yeah.
Like, I was a mom. I was a mom to him, and I was a mom to my kids. So that I own. Now, I really want to find a partner. I just want to find a partner.
So it sounds like you've already got you're strong, you're independent. You don't need anybody.
No, I can take care of myself.
Yeah. Here's the thing though. It'll happen when when it comes to manifesting. If you take me back to when I was driving past the ranch and I was like, oh, I really want to live here one day. That was it. That's all that happened. That was all that there was thought-wise. And then it just went away. And then I didn't worry about it. And I wasn't thinking about it. It wasn't like the next year I was like journaling that I wanted.
I still want to go down there.
Like it was just gone after that. And that's how it works, I think, with the universe. If you are like, the same way my mom said, if what you resist, you persist, or whatever it was that she said that was so crazy and it like freaks my brain out. If you focus on it too much, you do the opposite. So if you're like, where is he? Like, where is he at? Then they're not going to, because that energy is being put out there.
And that's funny because I get crap from guys for being too busy. Yeah. Like, your life is too busy. Yeah. Like, how are you going to fit someone in there because your life's too busy? And then I'm like, well, shoot.
Yeah.
Like, do I have to wait till my kids are graduated?
No.
Or do I just say, travel the world?
I think you do you, and you don't worry about it. You go, oh, I would really love to find a life partner. And then that's it.
And then
you just let it go after that. And then you don't focus on it. You're not like at the coffee shop being like, could he be my potential suitor? Oh. You know, like that's not, you just let it go.
No, that's not going to happen. But hey, Mr. Right, if you're out there, feel free to knock on my front door.
He's all, hey, I need some Wi-Fi.
If you need Wi-Fi, LMK.
That's so funny. See, but Brad always thought that he was too busy because he's in the car business and they work a lot of hours. They're so busy. So he was like, I'm never gonna find a relationship. And then he decided to get on Bumble and just like see what happened.
And I'm obsessed with you too.
Oh my gosh.
If you want to just like if you want to pretend to have a relationship, go look at her pictures. They're so cute. I'm like,
you're so sweet.
Do you remember I messaged you? I'm like, where did you find him?
Oh, I do remember that.
You're so cute.
Bumble. I actually really do like Bumble. You could
do?
just get on Bumble. See, here's the thing. I didn't get on Bumble going, I'm going to find him. Like, I'm going to. I was like, I had just left. I was like ready to have some fun, but like, we'll see what happens. I don't know. And then I had some conversations. I hated having conversations with guys on Bumble though, for the most part.
Yeah, it's like, hi, hottie.
Hey, hottie, how's it going? Well,
like,
and then
you're so sexy.
This is what I love.
I'm like, dude, there's a brain in my head.
Know,
Could you like maybe figure that out first?
This is what I love though. It's like they don't think that we know or that we catch on. This happened a lot. We'd like text in the morning for a second, and then I wouldn't hear, and then at like 9:00, it would be like, hey, what are you up to? And well, obviously I'm in my bed.
Yeah.
Is that where this is going? Yeah. It was like always like that. What are you up to at 10:00 at night on a Tuesday?
What do you think?
And I'm like, well, I just got in bed. I'm watching The Bachelor.
Someone messaged me and said, what are you doing? I'm like, in bed. What are you wearing? Sweats and a big t-shirt.
Yeah.
Maybe some boys' boxers underneath.
they do that every time. What are you wearing? What are you up to? And then like if you don't respond, they'll send a photo of themselves also in bed, shirtless. Like, I don't care. I don't want to do this.
Nope, no thanks.
I know. And Brad and me actually had a good conversation. Like, it was really fun. Like, we had, and then we'd sit and FaceTime because like this pandemic happened, and so I wasn't going out.
The only way to get to know him.
Yeah, so we were like spending 4 hours just like FaceTiming. It was so fun.
Okay, he's
the pandemic
cute.
is the way to go. Start a Bumble account today.
I have a Bumble account.
Ooh,
I've had
you do?
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll happen. You just have to like, I don't know. When I
purge that shiz.
Yeah.
Purge
Otherwise,
it.
you're gonna end up because like, and I don't know, right? I've had more toxic, shitty relationships than I have good ones, you know. But I learned a lot from those toxic, shitty relationships because I was so like, I don't know. It's like I was like wanting to create the relationship that I wanted so bad that I was like pushing it actually away, you know? Mm-hmm. Or I would attract people that like somehow had some wound with my mom or my dad or my stepdad, and then I'd relive that.
Absolutely.
And so you're just going to find yourself in those situations over and over again, but you're at such a good place. You're doing so many fun things. You've got your creativity flowing. You're a hot mom. Like, you're independent. You want to travel. Like, that's all you need to focus on. And then you just go, I would love to find a partner this year. And then just let it go. Just let it go.
I'm doing that.
Yeah. And every time it comes up, just be like, well, it'll happen when it happens. You know? Like, just let it go.
Okay.
It's that easy.
I'm rewiring my brain.
I would love to live on a ranch one day, and then it just happens. It's bizarre.
I would really, really love to live in $1 million.
Just let it go.
And then let it go.
You could write it on a little like piece of paper and burn it. That's a fun way to let it go. You could do that. You could put it down the toilet. Flush it. That's a fun way to let it go.
Okay. I'm going to be letting a lot of stuff go.
When I think I was maybe like 10 or 11. I think this is when my parents were getting divorced. I walked down the stairs because I just like couldn't sleep one night. And my mom used to wear these pajamas that were way too like, what do they call it when they like cut off at like the
I know
the
what
calf?
yeah.
They were too short. Or
yeah.
she just put them up too high. I don't know. It was
They're
funny.
like culotte-y.
Yeah. She was wearing those and her hair was like super crazy. And she was out on the back porch. And I remember seeing a pot like a pan like that you'd cook with, like spaghetti, think spaghetti, and she was outside burning something, and I remember being like, she has freaking lost it. Like, she's lost it. And now I do that kind of stuff. I'm like outside in my backyard like burning shit.
She's lost it.
I'm letting it go. I've lost it. That's when you find it, is when you've lost
That's when you find it. Yes, that's so awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. I'll send this to you and you can read read through it, but I'm trying to think if there's anything more that's fun in here that we could talk about. The arts can be a source of income. Her faith in the universe to provide may be helpful or difficult depending on the overall condition of the second house. When the condition of the second is favorable, easy success in professional life thanks to intelligence, ingeniousness, and new friends. She's careful with money without being miserly because she is open-handed. You need to download the pattern though. Okay. That'll tell you. I don't know if they steal your data or what goes on, but they know some stuff. Like, they know stuff about you that you're like...
Like, they secretly watch me in my home? Is that what you're saying?
I honestly question if they do.
I do, too!
You give them... I heard that there was some data concerned with the pattern, but I don't mind because the information that they give me is actually very helpful.
Okay.
And you can actually... You can go back in, like, look at past times. So you could go back to like when you got divorced and see what transits you had going on back then. It's bizarre.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But we hit a new transit at the end of June. So depending on your sign, we'd have to like look that up to see how it affects it. But it's really interesting.
That is some serious stuff.
Yeah, it'll be there.
Okay.
The transit we're currently in will be in place for like another 2 years.
Okay. So I have some time to figure it out.
You got some time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What other questions do you have?
I
Because this would be like a whole thing.
This could be a whole nother episode, but I'm excited about it. Honestly, I feel, again, I just want to reiterate, and maybe you can too, or give any bits of knowledge. People need to get in touch with themselves.
Absolutely.
Figure out your spirituality, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look at you. You've been through anything and everything. Mm-hmm. And, like, you are just, like, you still have all this love. I'm sitting here and truly, like, you can just feel that.
You're so
like,
sweet.
But she's beautiful, right? She's beautiful. Sweet. Like, there's this beautiful light, but you bring that with you when you walk into a room. Like, you walked in my house. I'm like, I love her. Like, I love you.
Too. I love you too.
So, I just, people take some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's super important. I honestly, like, my spirituality has been something that has been with me through a lot of crap, but it has always kept me floating above water versus drowning every time. And I'm so grateful for it. And I go through waves, like I don't meditate every day, but I'd like to, but there's times in my life where I definitely do. Like I go through like a 2-week period where I meditate constantly. So it just, I don't know, it changes, it evolves, but I think it's super important.
Yeah. So just, again, guys, please take time for you and know that today you are enough.